35-year-old man named Prakash from Kanpur was a truck driver, and for the first time, he was going on a delivery from Ratnagiri, Maharashtra, to Karnataka. Prakash was alone, and the journey was very long. But the Konkan coastal road, surrounded by rivers and mountains, looked extremely beautiful. But as evening started to fall and darkness spread, that road became so deserted and silent that Prakash began to feel a strange uneasiness. Fog started spreading everywhere, and to avoid it, Prakash turned the truck's headlights to full beam. Then he saw that the empty road ahead was surrounded by mango trees, and all around there were huge stones lying scattered. As he reached that stretch of road, he saw something there. On the side of the road, a small child was standing. He was wearing a school uniform and was covered in mud. Prakash slowed down the truck and stopped near the child. He rolled down his window and asked the little boy what he was doing there so late at night. But that boy gave no answer to Prakash. He was just staring at the ground. When Prakash called him again, the boy slowly raised his head and gave a very strange smile. A smile that could never belong to a normal human being. And the very next second, that boy disappeared somewhere into the fog right in front of Prakash's eyes. Seeing this, Prakash started trembling. He drank some water from the bottle kept beside him, and after about 2 minutes he thought that maybe it was just his imagination. But he was frightened from inside, and that's why now he just wanted to reach Karnataka as soon as possible. He started driving the truck again. After driving for some distance, Prakash once again reached the same turn where there were big stones all around and mango trees. The same place where he had seen that child. But this time Prakash did not stop and kept moving forward. Yet again and again he kept coming back to that same turn. He could not understand how this was possible. Prakash stopped the vehicle for 2 minutes and opened his phone to check the route. He had already been driving for hours, but the map was showing the same amount of time left to reach Karnataka as it had shown earlier. As soon as he called one of his fellow truck drivers, his phone switched off completely. He put the phone on charging, but now it was not charging either. Just then he saw that same child again. The same mud-covered uniform, the same bare feet, the same terrifying smile standing at the same corner of the road. He was smiling while looking at Prakash. Seeing him, Prakash's soul trembled. Prakash drove his truck at full speed, and suddenly the child, who was several kilometers behind, appeared right in front of his truck. Prakash was now extremely scared. Even after seeing the child in front of the truck, he did not stop, and the truck passed straight through that child. Prakash looked back through the rearview mirror, and the road was completely empty. Prakash understood that something extremely horrifying was happening to him, and that he had to get out of that place. Prakash started driving the truck at full speed without stopping. This time, he took a different turn than before and kept driving for many hours. But once again, he returned to the same road surrounded by mango trees. Prakash could not understand how to get out of this maze. And to make things worse, the entire road was deserted. Prakash did not see a single other car, truck, or bike. Nor did he see any tea stall, shack, or shop. In fact, even after driving for hours, he did not see a single human being on that road. Again and again, he was reaching the same place. But this time, just a few meters away from that place, he saw an old man walking. A thin old man of tall height, wearing a white dhoti. Prakash thought, "Thank God, at least he has found a human being." Prakash stopped the truck near that old man and rolled down the window to call out to him. But as soon as that old man turned towards Prakash, Prakash's hair stood on end. That old man's eyes were not moving at all. They were just two black patches. And he was smiling at Prakash in exactly the same way as that small child had smiled. Prakash turned his truck around and drove at full speed back towards Ratnagiri, Maharashtra. He thought that if he went back the same way, he might be able to reach home. But after driving for about 1.5 to 2 hours, taking different turns, he again reached the same road with mango trees and stones. Prakash was exhausted. He was defeated, and he could not understand why this was happening to him. About 7 to 8 hours had passed, and the night was still not ending. Prakash looked at the petrol meter and saw that the fuel was about to finish. Prakash's hands were trembling, and out of fear, he was screaming like a madman for help. But there was no one there to hear him. He was slowly driving the truck when he saw another person standing in front of the truck. That person was wearing the same shirt and pants that Prakash was wearing, and his height was also the same as Prakash's. Prakash thought that he would not stop the vehicle. As soon as he reached that person, Prakash broke into a cold sweat. That was no one else but Prakash himself. But like the old man, he too had no eyes, and he too was smiling in the same horrifying way as the child and the old man. Prakash's mind completely snapped, and this time the truck went straight and crashed into that person, or rather into that terrifying force, with such an impact that all the glass of the truck shattered, and Prakash lost consciousness right there. In the morning, when a car passed through that road, the driver saw that a truck had met with an accident and was crashed into a huge stone. When the man looked inside, he saw Prakash lying inside the truck in an injured condition. His breaths was still going on, so he was immediately taken to the hospital. Prakash opened his eyes 2 days later. He told the local police officers and doctors everything that had happened to him. After hearing Prakash's entire story, everyone understood that Prakash had encountered the very powerful Chakwa of Konkan. They told him that Chakwa, which is also called Chalawa, is a terrifying force that traps you in its illusion. Chakwa does not appear in just one form. Sometimes as a child, sometimes as an old man, sometimes as a man, sometimes like a shadow, sometimes as an animal, and sometimes exactly in your own form. It has only one purpose: to confuse the mind of a night traveler, to snatch the path away from him and trap him in its web. Villagers say that even if someone survives after encountering Chakwa, they do not live for long. Their mind breaks from the inside, their time stops, and their breaths slowly start to fade. After that day, Prakash completely stopped driving. His health also started deteriorating badly, and just a few days later, Prakash died of a heart attack. So friends, if next time you are traveling through any deserted road of Konkan, be careful, lest you too encounter a Chakwa.